have officially reached our estimated due date for baby number 9. Now, I think I would say with any pregnancy, especially after the first or second, not with the first or second, I wouldn't say this, that it went fast. I just can't believe how fast it went. This time, there was a few circumstances that made it go even faster. Of course, we're building a house, so our attention feels very divided, and things are obviously exciting. There's a lot of other children in the house. We have a lot of different needs and personalities and things going on. Therefore, it flew by even more this time than usual. My sister and I were talking today about how it's amazing how you always kind of feel at your capacity, but you know you could always do more because you look at past seasons that were harder and somehow you fit it all in. I'm sure that's how I'm going to feel soon here when we have a newborn. Each new baby feels like a new level. I always think, okay, this felt doable, but busy before, and now there's a newborn too. So getting ready for that mental shift that's going to come soon. We'll give ourselves some time to adjust to that. We'll try to take it slower, put less expectations on ourselves. Of course, there's a lot of things going on over at the house, and though we have builders and we have tons of people in and out, there's still a lot of things that we're doing as well when it comes to the build project. So we're gonna have to figure out how to navigate all of that while having a new baby. But I do keep telling myself that if some things just have to go on the back burner and we get into our house later than expected, that's okay. I'm just going to refuse to do anything that's too crazy overwhelming. My daughters have wanted to sew some things for our new baby girl, and today my oldest daughter is taking a fabric that she found at a thrift shop, sort of a vintage fabric. Actually, 2 of them, even though they're very similar, they're a little different. The fabric that's on the dress in the bloomers, because she didn't have very much yardage, perfect for a little baby dress. She's using the Oh Me Oh My daisy pattern. I know she won't fit into this right away, but I can't wait until she does because it's so cute. One thing that's important for me, not only because we're adding a new baby, but also because we have so many people that we're caring for, is avoiding unnecessary chemicals. Is it just me, or does it seem like everything is full of unnecessary chemicals? That's why I'm excited to tell you about Earth Breeze. Their detergent sheets are free from harsh chemicals like optical brighteners, dyes, parabens, phosphates, and preservatives. No heavy plastic jugs, no mess, no harsh chemical residue. Just a lightweight, pre-measured sheet that dissolves in the wash and gets the job done. And yes, your clothes still come out clean, fresh, and soft. Most popular detergents are packed with harsh chemicals that can irritate your skin, mess up your hormones, and cause allergic reactions. Some of these chemicals, like optical brighteners, can actually even stick to your clothes like glue. And the craziest part of all that is most of these chemicals don't even clean your clothes. You can actually see them under a black light, and it's pretty gross. With Earth Breeze, I feel so much better knowing I'm not exposing my family to all those unnecessary chemicals. It's easy to switch, and if you're not completely satisfied, they have an amazing money-back guarantee. Right now, you can try Earth Breeze for up to 40% off plus 4 free gifts at my link, which I will leave in the description box below. I mostly stocked our freezer a few weeks ago with lots of soups and meatballs and tortillas and English muffins and bagels. I wanted to get a few more things in there. Now, I planned to get even more in, but I still think we're doing pretty well. Today, I am making my biscuit chicken pot pie recipe over on the website, farmhouseonboone.com. This is a family favorite. It's such a comfort food. I make it fairly regularly, but not an everyday thing. Like, I have things that I make all the time because they are just so easy, so fast. I don't have to be in the kitchen very much. This one requires a little bit more effort, but everybody loves it. So I thought it would be a nice comforting thing to throw in the oven when we are postpartum with the baby. I mentioned earlier that we are doing quite a bit with the build. Well, a lot of the work that we'd planned to do with the build, we really planned for, or I shouldn't say planned, because if we'd planned properly, this wouldn't be the case. But we expected a lot of it to happen more over the summer. But as things do and as delays happen, this tends to happen with building, the bulk of the things that we were wanting to do ourselves is kind of falling right around the time that we're going to be having the baby. We did call in some help or hire someone for something that we are planning to do completely ourselves already, just anticipating that it's not going to work out. But still, I told Luke he's gonna need to be up there painting for 2 or 3 hours every day, probably until it gets cold outside. So trying to make this transition as easy as possible, knowing that we're gonna have other things to do than just the children and the newborn. Since the baby could come any day now, I need to pack up all of the birthing supplies. So when you are doing a home birth, this is our 6th home birth, 7th home birth. The midwife gives you a list of things that she is going to need accessible during the birth. So usually I like to put these things in a basket, just have them sitting there and ready the last week or so of pregnancy so that I'm not scrambling during the early parts of labor to get them together. Okay, we are getting down to the wire. Baby is due basically any day now. I'm trying to think when this video comes out. She could be here, close to it. Let's just say that, close to it. So I got all the birthing supplies gathered up. My midwife brought by a bunch of medical type stuff. She also gave me instructions on what to do if the midwife isn't there yet. So that's always good practice, especially if you've had fast births before, which I have. So the past 2 babies, the midwife was here for about definitely less than 10 minutes. I think the most recent birth, she was here for maybe 5 minutes. So there's a real possibility of that, which is why we opted this time to prepare just a little bit more in case that would happen. I'm definitely going to try to call her in time. And usually when I say that I have fast births, I really just struggle to call at the right time because I'm usually managing fine and I don't like anybody to be here very long. So I'm always trying to time it to where they're not here very long, but I could get myself in a bind by doing that. So this is just stuff that, you know, if I realize the birth's gonna happen, and I've usually set up my bed so that I have a shower curtain under my sheet and a waterproof liner. So that'll all be taken care of, but then if the baby actually does arrive, you'll need some more stuff to line the bed with. There's some postpartum herbs. There's some olive oil for baby's first poop. Midwives like to use that. Gloves. I mean, most likely this will just be what she gets into, hopefully. I would rather really not do an unassisted birth would be my goal. I also had a list of things that the midwife asks for you to have accessible. So usually when I'm around 38 weeks pregnant or something like that, I get a basket just sitting ready so that way when they arrive, they know where to grab everything. I will likely have the baby right in here, so this will all be real easy. As many of you know, we are having our first girl in about 15 years. My daughter will be 15 in 2 months, my youngest daughter, and then my oldest daughter will be 17 in 3 months. So basically, my girls are 17, 15, and then a newborn, which means that I haven't had a girl in so long. I've had 6 boys, no girls. And so we're really excited. I didn't save anything. People ask me, did I save anything? I gave up on that like so many years ago. I no longer was saving anything in the basement. And even if I had, it'd probably be, I don't know, it wouldn't have made it through the moves that we've done. We've moved twice since having a girl. We'll move again soon. So I grabbed a few things. I don't need a ton. I am such a minimalist when it comes to newborns because they're skin to skin for 2 weeks. And then when we do start going out, I'm a person that does laundry every single day. And so I just put them in the same cute outfits over and over again. We wear them out and then get rid of them. So I know I only need just a small handful of outfits. Plus my daughters are excited to sew her some things, so they're working on that. So we have a few things there, but I did pick up just a couple cute little outfits. These are both by Colored Organics. And I got the matching bows just because, you know, why not? Like, I don't think with my oldest girls, I really did much bows, but that's because I grew up with 3 sisters. Then I had 2 daughters. It wasn't like, oh, girls, I need to do bows. It was like, of course I have girls. But now it's just been so long that we're really excited to be able to use bows, and these look comfy. Knowing me, this will be like a fun thing I do twice and then I'll just forget all about the bows. But at least a couple cute little things. I also picked up some stuff from Quince. I need to still wash these. These are both 0 to 3. So these are newborn. These are 0 to 3. Just comfy, cozy little sleepers. I also picked up a couple pacifiers. I have never in 8 children had a baby that likes a pacifier anywhere beyond 1 or 2 months. But for the first couple months after we've established our nursing relationship really well, I will usually, when I'm up and about and they're in my baby wrap, I will use a pacifier, and that helps to soothe them to sleep. And so I know I'll use at least a pacifier for a little bit. All of my babies use them for a very short time and then totally refuse them after like 1 or 2 months. So I grabbed these really cute ones. I forget what the brand is. They look like flowers on the ends. They said they were good for nursing babies and their newborn size. And then they also asked, I need to put these here with my birthing supplies, for a few baby blankets with the birthing supplies. I don't end up really swaddling anymore. That's something that they started telling me not to do somewhere around 5 years ago, I think. I totally swaddled the first 5 babies, and then my 5-year-old and beyond, I never swaddled them, but I do use these really large muslin swaddle blankets just right after the birth, and then also when we're skin to skin to put them against my chest and cover them up with something. I'll use these for that. So I'll put that there with the birth supplies. And then of course I have my wraps. Honestly, the only one I will use for the most part in general will be this woven wrap. This is my favorite. It's my go-to. It is what I've used for the last couple of babies pretty much exclusively. I keep some other fun and pretty ones, and ones that when the baby's a bit older, I can do back carries, and I have like the soft structured carrier for just it to be easy. But this is what I'll use for the newborn. It is so soft and well broken in at this point because I've used it for so many babies. I've washed it so many times. What I like about these woven wraps is they really hold up because they're made from really high quality fabric, and they get so soft that baby can be cozy and tight and secure, and then they last all through, you know, until you're done baby wearing. So usually my babies I don't really wear them much past 1, but when we're out and about, like last year we did homeschool co-op, I could get Victor to sleep in this wrap all the way until I'd say he was about 16 months. And then we hit a wall, and co-op didn't work out so well anymore. We're actually not even doing it this year because he would not go to sleep in it after a certain point. I did all my usual tricks and bounced and all that kind of stuff. No longer worked. But until it stopped working, he would take long naps in this woven wrap all the way until close to 18 months, I would say. This serves me well. It's really the only wrap I need. I keep others because I have them and they're beautiful and I like the option. But this is what is gonna go here in my little newborn basket because I know as soon as I'm up and out of bed, I will be using that. I am finishing up my chicken pot pie, biscuit pot pie, I guess you could call it. I also have a recipe with an actual pie crust, but we love making the biscuit version, and I like to make it with whole grain flour, which is what I did today to make biscuits more fluffy and have lots of those flaky layers. I make sure to fold the dough over on itself several times before cutting it out. It also helps to not spin your biscuit cutter, but just press it down. Those are some tricks that I've learned to make biscuits flaky and layered and fluffy and tall. I will leave a link to this recipe in the description box below. I also recently did a blog post where I shared a bunch of freezer meal ideas. So if you go over to farmhouseonmoon.com, search freezer meals, or it might still be at the top of the website right now, I've compiled a bunch of recipes that are great for freezer meals if you want to do a freezer meal prep day. We have really been loving using freshly milled soft white wheat for cookies in our home. I learned a trick to weigh the grains before milling them. A lot of times I will get them going in the mill, just the perfect amount that I need. I do for cookies, I shared recently, I kind of changed it, but I do 130 grams of soft white wheat berries per cup of flour that the recipe calls for. And while the grain mill is milling the grains, I will add the rest of the dry ingredients right in with it. A lot of times to condense time frames, I'll just start throwing in the baking powder, baking soda, salt, right in as it's milling in that bowl. Then I do the butter, sugar, vanilla, eggs. If I'm doing sourdough starter in the mixer, and then slowly add in the dry ingredients. It just really streamlines the process. I want to freeze a bunch of these so that we can pull them out of the freezer and bake them easily. Not that we have a super hard time with cookies, because my daughters also really like making cookies. So that really shouldn't be a problem, but it cannot hurt to have bulk amounts of whole grain cookies in our freezer. So I'm going to first flash freeze them. And by flash, I mean till I get to these. I want them nice and hard so I can just pop them off the cookie sheet, put them in a Ziploc bag, and store them that way. If I am able to keep any of this cookie dough until I actually birth this baby, because once my kids are onto it, it's pretty fun to grab some cookie dough out of the freezer. It will be a nice, easy treat, something special during this postpartum time that's going to be quite full and busy with so many things, not just a new baby, but we're gonna keep moving along on the house build stuff and our homeschool routine, which we've been navigating, figuring all of that out. It's just looked like saving a lot of the housework for the afternoon and the evening. One thing I just refuse to be is super stressed out about all this. So if things have to be delayed ever so slightly, then that's just what's going to have to happen. My daughter is also going to make the baby a knotted gown. I think these are cute. I don't know how practical they are. I've never actually had one, but I imagine that you can't baby wear when they're wearing a knot gown because you need their little legs out, and then also you can't put them in a car seat. So I think this will just be great for those easy diaper changes anytime we're around the house, which will be that as well. It was a simple sew, so maybe I can get her to make another one, depending on how much fabric they have. Well, I can't wait to share with you the birth story and how all of this unfolds. I look forward to sharing all of that with you very soon, hopefully in my next video, to be determined.